Yo, what's up? This is the retro kid. This is the fresh kid. This is the old school kid. Retronic Ice Cat. You're on Mr. Ice Cat's channel. Rate, comment, subscribe. Apparently, I got some news to tell you, right? And I know a lot of people don't know about this. According to a source link that I browsed through today, it's in the description link below this video. It's safe to say now that Stooshe and Warner Brothers have officially parted ways from each other due to some disagreements that has been exploding between the two parties. And they actually left the record label last summer once they returned from the US. You know, they parted ways with Warner Brothers, and since then they've kind of been in a hibernation mode. They haven't really done much besides mini gigs and promotions here and there, but nothing major. And the reason of it is because Warner Brothers, right, these major record labels, right, they want to have full control over the artist, especially if you're female as well. They want to have full control of you. They want to try and make you look all sexy and glamorous and whatnot, and overdo you and what your talent and momentum and credibility, which I don't agree with at all. I'm glad that Stooshe parted ways with them, is because these girls are too rude for major record labels. They don't need a major record label. If anything, they can do like a distribution deal and make money off their gigs, big money, and have most of the control of what they do. Because it's an insult. Why would one want to join a record label just to gain fame and that? And all that fame, it ain't gonna last long, because at the end of the day, when you sign up to these major record labels, right, yeah, you don't get your full royalties. You don't get your full potential. You don't get your full capacity. You don't reach all of that fully without you giving something to the record label. And the record label, right, yeah, it takes 80% of your money, because all your money goes to tours, goes to this, it goes to that, it goes to your traveling, it goes to your house, it goes to your cars, everything that you have. The record company owns it, and they can take it away from you within a split second. So for those of you who are upcoming artists right now and thinking that, oh yeah, I want to get signed to a major record label. Yeah, I want to get signed to this label. I want to get signed to that label. Yeah, I want to be famous in that. Don't think here that you're going to get all these things and you're going to own it personally, because it don't work like that. The record company has full control over you. Once you sign that deal, that's it. Your your freedom is taken away from you. Whereas Stooshe avoided all of that. They were in it for a minute, but they finally said, you know what, enough is enough. And I know Caris is the most outspoken girl out of the three, right? She put her foot down and said, you know what, fuck this. I'm not going to have these record labels telling us what to do and how to perfect our craft and whatnot and make us be something we're not. She did the smart thing, and she stood up to the people and the outsiders as well who want to try and join in and gang upon Stooshe just because they had a different option with what they want to do with their career, a different path that Warner Brothers wanted them to do. Hell, they even had like some sort of dispute with their own manager that established them, Joe Perry, as well, because when they were in America, probably things didn't go right and a lot of disagreements occurred. So basically, that's what caused their departure. And why Stooshe left Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers wanted to try and water down their talent even further. And they saw it coming from a mile away, so they did the same thing. They did the same thing what any other real person would do. Walk out of the record label while you still can, because if you stick with a major record label for so long, they could fuck up your career. You won't even be the same again. There'll be no turning back. Because your career would have been watered down. You would already be exposed for being a fake and a phony. That's what these record companies do. They turn people into being fake. Real recognize real at the end of the day. But if I was an artist, right, yeah, and I was signed to a major label and they tried to control me like that, I'll be like, fuck you. I'll just leave the record label, because me personally, I don't like being told what to do. I like to have control over my own material and showcase my real talent instead of trying to put on an act and a persona that I'm not. I'm me at the end of the day. I'm Retronic Ice Cap. I like to be me at the end of the day instead of being something I'm not. Because all this major record labels is just hype. It's all hype at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad that this generation, right, the majority of them can't see it. And they end up getting caught in the trap. You know what I'm saying? Hell, Roxanne even did the same thing. Walked out of her major record label that she was with. Because they tried to sex her up. They tried to make her something that she's not. And she did the right thing by walking out. You don't need a major record label to become successful. You can become successful the way you want to become successful. Because there's got to be a reason why the realists, the real people walk out of major labels. Because they know what's going to happen next. If you're a real person, you'd understand where I'm coming from. Because at the end of the day, the major record label, right, owns most of what you have. They own most of it. They own all of it. Every single thing, even your house and your cars. That's how bad it is. They own everything. And whatever money that you make, it all goes onto your traveling. It goes onto your tours. It goes onto your merchandise. It goes onto your CD albums and covers. This, that, rare. It all goes onto the materialistic stuff that the record company makes for you. So you only get, what, 20% out of it? Or the record company gets, what, 80%? It's just bullshit. All they do is just fuck people over. I feel like Stooshe has been fucked over so many times that they just had enough. Because their album, London with the Lights On, was supposed to have been released in 2012, but instead it got released just under a year later. The spring of 2013. When the album was ready to be released in 2012, they had a smash hit, Black Heart, in the spring of 2012. They were ready to go. They were ready. But Warner Brothers decided to fuck them over by delaying their album. Just imagine if their album was released in around them times. These girls would have been mega big. They'd be taking over the universe. But no, Warner Brothers decided to play with them. Play around with them. They were ready. They were determined to go all the way. But Warner Brothers again decided to play with them. And I don't know why. I don't know what Warner Brothers has against them. Maybe it's because they're too real to be on a major record label. So they decided to play around with them. And wanted full control over them and tried to dumb them down. But that didn't work. So Warner Brothers, you failed. You failed. Shame on you. You've just lost 3 of the hottest girl groups in the UK today. They're still the best, regardless. The realest. I respect them a lot because they've kept it real all along from the get-go. From when they came in, and from when they got signed, and from when they left, they've always been themselves. They've never changed for anybody. They have not changed. If they're not happy with something, they're gonna confront the situation. And I know Karis, right? Yeah, I know she don't take bullshit, so I wouldn't be surprised if Karis is the one laying down the rules and laying down this bull crap that's been going on. Maybe that's why they haven't been so big. It's because of the fucking record label that they were with. Played with them so long. For delaying their album, London with the Lights On. That's what messed them up in a way. And I think the record company purposely made fans lose interest in them for delaying their album and their material. Because like I said, they were ready to go. If it wasn't for Warner Brothers playing around, right, they'll be making noise all over the world. But instead, you play with them. Hell, I would have done the same thing as well. I would have walked right out. If I found out that I was being manipulated and being disrespected indirectly, I would have just said, I would have confronted the record label and say, you know what? You ain't going to be fucking around with me anymore because I'm walking out of your stupid company. Hell, I'd rather be independent than go major, because being major sometimes, people like to fuck each other over. Especially if they know you're real and you have talent. They'll, fuck you over in a good way with a smile. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's very important to keep real. Stand up for yourself. You gotta stand up for yourself in this world. Because people will think they can just walk all over you. Sometimes you just go put that realism and put your foot down and say, you know what? I'm my own boss. I'm not gonna let people tell me what to do. It's good to take advice from other people, don't get me wrong, but being controlled to the point where you feel like a puppet. That's not on. That's not on at all. But the funny thing is, I had a feeling that something was wrong ever since they announced that, there's been a change of management. I knew right from that point that they may have officially been dropped. That's what was in the back of my mind at the time. But I didn't want to make any further assumptions. That's why I just kept quiet, because I could be wrong. But now it's safe to say that they have parted ways. They're not working for Warner Brothers anymore. They're not signed with them. They have nothing to do with them. They're just doing their own thing. They're working on their second album right now, and they have more freedom and more say in what they do. So basically, here's the chance to see the real them. And they wanted to showcase their real talent and their real determination instead of being controlled. Because probably deep down, they weren't really happy with what they were doing. Because, like they say, they're growing up. They wanted to change up their style with more class. Not going backwards by making them out to be something they're not and trying to sex them up and degrade them. That's not who they are. They're more real than that. They're more sensible than that. They're more smarter than that. So shame on you, Warner Brothers, once again. Shame on you. Because you just lost 3 talented, pretty girls. What are you going to do? Is this what you're going to be doing to other artists too? In fact, you may have done that already in the past as well, but you did it to the wrong people. You did it to the wrong people. I hope this is a message to you. You know what I'm saying? Thinking you can just control people anyhow because you're a multi-millionaire company. Everybody's different. If the world was the same, if we all were the same, if we were all puppets, if we were all conformers, the world would be a boring place. There would be no uniqueness. You know what I'm saying? My advice would be, if you're not happy with a place where you're at, just get the hell out of Dodge, because if you just stay there any longer and you hate it, you may explode and you may never be the same again. So if you feel something's not right, move away from there. You know, at the end of the day, I just believe that everything happens for a reason, and they left the company for a good reason, for a valid reason. Unless you like being controlled, unless you don't have a mind of your own, then a major record label is not for the realist. It's not for real people. It's not for those who stand up for themselves. I want to showcase their real talent to real fans. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give a big shout out to Stooshe, Courtney, Mariah Rumbled. I love you, sweetie. Karis Anderson, I love you too. And Alexandra Stephanie Bugs, same to you too, babes. This is my video and my take on the situation between Stooshe and Warner Brothers parting ways with each other. I think it was for the best. If anything, they'd probably get signed up to an independent label or whatever, or some distribution sort of deal. But I know the second album is going to be a hit, and they should reveal some realism, because I know that these girls are real for sure. You know when you can just tell when somebody's real? You can just look at them and you can tell that they're non-bullshitters. They don't take bullshit from nobody. You know that they're going to come out with real stuff this time. Now that they have full control over what they do. More say. You know? More leeway. So, this album should sound interesting. More R&B, more Motown, bringing back the old school vibe. Yeah, I'm definitely digging it. I just can't wait for the second album to be released. I'm myself also working on a mixtape at the moment. It's called Critical Mind. So I will inform you more about that in the future. But until now, you know, for now, I'm going to just keep doing more news reports and updating you on certain things. Stooshe, never change. I really like you girls. I really love you girls to death. I've said it so many times I couldn't say it anymore, but I really, really love you girls. Enough respect for standing up for yourselves to those people. I know it takes a lot of courage and momentum, and you know, it must have been a really difficult thing, but I'm glad that you've got through with it and doing your own thing and having more control of yourselves, because that's the most important thing. Nobody likes to be controlled like that or disrespected and have their talent watered down. That's the worst thing that could happen to anyone. So, enough respect to them. That's my take on the situation. Once again, let me know what you think about this whole thing. I know it's a bit of a shock to certain fans, even though their fan base is really, really small, but to the dedicated hardcore fans that don't really know for sure that they've been officially parted from the record label, I can confirm it now that they have. Check the link in the description below this video. Let me know what you think about this situation. And if you think that Stooshe did the right thing for walking out on Warner Brothers. I personally think that they did, but I want to get your thoughts on it. So rate, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at RetronicsCat. I'm going to be doing more videos soon. And if you want to also check out what I said about how these female artists get held back by all these major record companies, then check onto my Real News Talk channel. Subscribe to that too. Let me know what's up. Till next time. Word up.